Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a total masterclass in communication. I mean, how do you really grab an audience, challenge something they believe deep down, and make them absolutely desperate to know what comes next? Well, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it's done. So, it all kicks off with this little gem. A content creator opens his video with his beautifully weird statement, "Everyone is right. It's just a myth." Now, wait a minute. That makes no sense, right? And that's exactly why it works. It immediately plants a question in your brain. You can't help it. How on earth can everyone be right if it's all just a myth? Okay, so the topic here was photography, but honestly, it could have been about anything. Cooking, cars, you name it. What we're really digging into today isn't the myth itself. Nope, it's the absolutely brilliant technique he used to challenge it. Think of this as a step-by-step guide on how to build the perfect hook. All right, first step in this whole formula, provocation. And look, this isn't about tiptoeing around, gently introducing a new idea. Oh no, this is about starting a fire. It's about basically declaring war on something everyone thinks they know. And just listen to the sheer scale of this claim. He doesn't say, a common misconception. No way. He says he's tackling the biggest photographic myth, period. The stakes are instantly cranked up to 11. He's not promising a little debate, he's promising a full-on heavyweight title fight. So here's the key takeaway, right? When you attack a core belief like that, you force your audience to snap to attention. It creates this mental itch, the kind you just have to scratch. Suddenly, they're not just passively listening anymore. They're on the edge of their seat thinking, wait, could everything I've believed for years actually be wrong? But listen, making a bold claim, that's not enough on its own. The next step is all about engagement. This is where you make it personal. It's the magic trick that turns your audience from just watching into actually participating. And how does he do it? With a super simple question. See, he doesn't just lecture the audience. He turns to them and asks them something directly, something based on the very myth he's about to tear down. So I'll ask you the same thing. What do you think? Which one is it? He lays out two crystal clear options, forcing everyone watching to pick a side. You've got the wide-angle lens on the left and the telephoto on the right. Simple as that. By telling them to drop their answer in the comments, he's getting them to put a little skin in the game. It's brilliant. And this is the masterstroke. He adds an incentive. This isn't just some boring quiz anymore. No, it's a challenge. And there's a reward on the line. All of a sudden, the stakes are way higher. You're not just guessing anymore. You are officially competing. You gotta understand, this is a huge psychological shift. The second someone types out their answer, they're invested. They've got a personal stake in how this whole thing turns out. Now they need to stick around at the very end, not just to learn something, but to find out if they were right and, hey, to get that prize. Okay, so at this point, he's got the audience totally hooked and fully engaged. But now comes maybe the most crucial part of all. He has to build trust before the big reveal. He's got to prove he's not just some guy spouting crazy theories. And you'll notice his whole tone just shifts. It completely changes. The big provocative showman, he's gone. Now it's just a guy in his studio, and he's basically inviting you to come hang out behind the scenes. It feels way more personal, way more authentic. It feels unscripted. He starts showing us his process, letting us hear him kind of think out loud. You can tell he's meticulous, really focused on getting every little detail just right. This is a signal to us, the audience, that yeah, he made a pretty wild claim, but his methods are serious, they're precise. And then right after showing us all that precision, he shows us his frustration. This is so important. It's not some slick, polished corporate video. It's raw, it's real. And that little moment of relatable struggle, it's incredibly powerful for building trust. We start to believe him because we see the messy, chaotic effort that's going into it. So the takeaway here is that this mix, this combo of being super careful but also super real and authentic, it makes the audience lean in. You start to trust the process because it doesn't feel fake at all, and that just makes you even more eager to see the final result, the thing he's been working so hard on. All right, let's wrap this up and put all the pieces together. What this creator did, he didn't just make a video. He literally engineered an experience. And the breakdown of that perfect hook, the anatomy of it, is something absolutely anyone can learn from. It really boils down to a 5-step playbook. You start with a bold claim to just shatter what people expect. Then you hit them with a direct challenge and an incentive. That's what pulls them into the story. After that, you build trust by showing your process, showing the messy parts. That earns you the right to finally make your big promised reveal. You see how each step builds on the last? It creates this unstoppable momentum. And that, right there, is the real secret sauce. This isn't just a list of facts. It's a story. It's got conflict. It's got audience participation. It's got suspense. It takes what could be a boring explanation and turns it into this compelling narrative that just pulls you along, making you feel like you're part of the discovery. So, what about the answer to his big challenge? Well, the creator actually never gives it. Wild, right? Because his goal wasn't to just hand you an answer. His goal was to make you obsessed with the question, which, of course, leaves us with a question of our own. If the lens isn't the answer, then what is? Thanks for tuning in.